Hello everybody, Raging That's On, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to solve the 4x4. Now this video is going to be in two parts. In part 1, you'll learn how to solve the centers and connect the edge pieces. In part 2, you'll learn how to solve it as a 3x3 cube and solve the parodies. Now this time, I really recommend you already know how to solve a 3x3, as it will make solving the 4x4 a lot easier. Now let's get started straight away by mixing this bad boy up. Now that we've mixed it up completely on every single side, we're going to go to step number 1, which is solving the centers. Now for solving the centers, I recommend you know the colors of the Rubik's Cube so that you can solve them and place them correctly. If you do not know them off the top of your mind, you can use a different Rubik's Cube if you have one. I'm going to be using my 2x2 to guide myself with the colors, as I do not know them off the top of my head. Now the first layer I'm going to complete is green, just like I normally do. So to do this, I'm going to start by finding a green centerpiece. For example, there is one right here. Now, there are a few steps in creating the green layer. First, you create a line, and then you create another line somewhere else, and then you put the lines together. It's pretty much the same for creating every centerpiece. There's just some difficulties creating the other centerpieces. But creating the first centerpiece is really easy because you can just move it around freely. So first thing I'm going to do is keep this on top, and I'm going to locate another green centerpiece. Now down here is another green centerpiece. It's here. So if I were to just move it up, you can see it would be in wrong position and it would not create a line. So to do that, I simply have to move it up here so that when I move it up, it will connect with the centerpiece and create a line. Now I'm going to find the other green centerpiece, which is here, and the last green centerpiece, which is here. Now I need to connect these two as a line. I'm going to do that by turning this so that it's below this one, and then I'm going to simply place them together like so. Now to place them into the top layer, it's really simple. All I want to do is just turn this so this is facing this, and then move it up like this. So now I've created the green side. Now opposite of green is blue, so the next side I'm going to create is the blue side. Now as I said before, we want to start by creating a blue line, which we can then connect with the other pieces. Now there's already a blue piece here, so we need to find another blue piece which we can then connect to that blue piece. So here's another blue piece. Now to connect it, we simply want to look, this is in the bottom left, so we're going to get this in the bottom right so that it will match up when we move this up. Now we can't just simply move it up like this because then we'll mess up our green. So instead what we do is we move it up, and then we move this out of the way and move this back down. That way we can place these two together without messing up the green. Now we need to put together the other two blue pieces. Here's one and here's another. Now this is in the bottom right, so we want to get this in the top right. We're going to do this by simply turning this one so that it's in the top right, and then connecting them like so. Now we want to simply turn this top piece so that they are aligned opposite of each other. And now it's a bit more complicated because we can't just move it up and spin it twice. That'll simply ruin the other side. So to keep the green from not breaking apart and putting these together, we have to actually spin them so they're facing each other like so. And we're going to do this, we're going to bring this into the top layer, we're going to spin it twice, and we're going to bring this back into the top layer. Now you can see we put them together and kept the green in one piece, literally. Now what we want to do is the bit more difficult part, which is putting together the sides here. So I'm going to keep the green in the top layer and just check which color here. So we can see white is right of red, so I'm going to start by making those two. So I'm going to find a white. Here's white. Those two already put together, so I can just find the others. Here's the other white. Now this is in the top left, so I want to get this in the top right without moving that. So to do that, I can simply move this out of the way like so it goes over here, and this goes over here, and that stays intact. And then, since I can't move it into here without messing up that, simply I can just move it down here so that it's in the bottom left. And then when I move this back, they are connected. And this is still intact, this is still intact, and this is still intact. Now to put these together, I can simply move the white into the top layer and then move it so that these are together. Now I want to get the red over here to the left of the white. Now you can see these two red are already aligned, but these two are not. So I want to get these two aligned. So I can simply do that by spinning this so that this is in the top right. And then, not to mess up my white piece, I move it like this so that they're connected. And I move this down out of the way and I move it back. Now you can see I have the white intact and the red put together as a line. Now I need to connect these two without messing up the white. So I do that simply by moving this up like before, spinning it twice and moving this down. Now they're together and they're to the left of the white. Now for the next step, we're going to make the yellow and the orange next to each other. Now the orange is left of the yellow, so I need to make sure I do that correctly. So these are already in lines, so that makes life a lot easier for us. So all we have to do is make sure we put orange into the left. By doing the same as before, we move it so that they're facing each other, and then we bring it into the top layer, spin it twice, and bring this down. Now we've completed all the centers of the cube. Now we're on to step number 2, which is finding the edge pieces of the same color and putting them together so that in the end it'll look like a 3x3. I'm going to start by doing all the green edge pieces. So here's a green edge piece. I just took a random one. And this is green and red. So I want to find the other green and red edge piece. So I'm just going to look around for a bit until I find it. And I'm going to keep a finger on that green so I don't lose where it is. Here it is, I found it. So the green and red is down here. So I want to move it so that it comes up in the same layer as this green and red. Now right now they're exactly opposite of each other, the green and red and the green and red. I don't want that. I want them to be across from each other, like so. So what I want to do is this. I want to move this down here. Then I want to move this out of the way. And I want to move this down. Now you can see there's the green and the green and red across from each other. Now to place them together, we can't just do this, because then we'll break the center pieces. Instead, we do this first, then we move this out of the way, replace it with another broken pair, move this up, and turn and fix the centers again. Now you can see the green and red are successfully placed together. Now let's find another green edge piece. Let's see here, green and white. Now we need to find the other green and white edge piece. So I'm just going to keep my finger on this and then search for it. Oh, that was quick. I found it down here. Now we want to get it across from here, so we're going to move it into under where it wants to be and then move it up. Now we have them diagonal from each other. Now we have them opposite of each other. So to get them across, I move this down here, move that out of the way, and then bring this up. Now you can see they're across from each other. Now we need to do before we connect the edge pieces. We move them out of the way, replace them with a broken pair, move this back, and connect the center pieces. Now we got that green pair solved correctly. Now let's find another one, green and orange. We find the other green and orange piece. It's down here. Move it into the layer where the other one is. They're across from each other. So we need to move this down, move this over, and bring this up so that they are diagonal from each other. Move this down, move it out of the way, replace it with a broken pair. So make sure you don't replace it with a fixed pair, ever, because then it won't work. So make sure the pair is broken. Move this back, and align the pieces. Now you've gotten the next green piece. Let's find another edge piece. Oh, no more green edge pieces, so let's go on to the next. I happen to find yellow and red here in the same layer, but I just need them across from each other. So I'll move this down here and bring it up here. Now you can see they're already across from each other. So I simply connect them, move them away, replace them with a broken pair, and connect the center pieces again. Now let's find another one. Here is yellow and orange, so I'm going to connect that with the other yellow and orange edge piece. By doing so, moving it out of the way, replacing it with a broken pair, and connecting the edge pieces. Now we'll just keep doing this until there are only two. Now you can see there are only two broken pairs left. It is red and blue, white and blue, and red and blue and white and blue. Now we want to keep these so that they are opposite of each other, but instead of having the correct pairs opposite, we want to have them straight in front of each other. So to do that, we are simply going to move this into here, move that out of the way, and bring this up. So now you can see the red and blue is across from the red and blue, and the red and white is across from the red and white. Now we're going to do this algorithm. Spin the bottom, bring up the right, spin the front, spin the top, bring down the right, spin the front back, and then spin the bottom back. Now these are all correctly aligned. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in part 2 where you learn how to solve it like a normal Rubik's Cube and learn how to fix the parodies. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.